Let's I want to break down this trade and show you why it was a bad trade. I took this trade, second trade on my second account. So after like 10 trades, I always restart. Because I always do have 10. So I want to take 10 trades, see the probability of 10 trades, and then restart 10 trades, restarts, and see what percentages I'm able to make out to 10. So I can say like this trade right here was a bad trade. Um, the confluence is aligned. Of course, confluence is aligned. But realizing that this is let's just keep this in my head and keep this in your head. That confluences are like the last thing to even be worried about. Like confluences is not the end all be all. Common sense and higher time frame, direction is what matters more than confluence. It doesn't matter. Confluence is line up. Anywhere you can go, you can find that the confluence, right? But what makes the most sense? What is price more likely to do? Where is it more likely to go? What is the higher chance of this going this way? It's more likely. We're all doing stuff on probabilities, and we're just gonna always stick on the side that makes more sense. So with this shit right here, I took this trade here, because I seen this 4 hour came here, create this bearish direction, this break of 30-minute structure broke underneath this level, came here, formed this engulfing. So I took this trade, get a 2.5 gain. But this trade instantly came from here, went straight to stopping me out. And the question is, was it a good trade? Was it a bad trade? That is the question that I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Can I pause for a bit? Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Good morning. Can you tell me what happened yesterday um at the appointment? No, man, they did a whole bunch of mixed up. There was even the wrong person who seen us. Like the doctor got mad because he's like, bro, like who hired these people? Wow. Because he was like, bro, like he's like they didn't even ask you your name or anything. Like, how does it even? Because like she called us in the back. She said. She called two names, right? When she called two names, she took one person, and after she called A Genesis, and then we came. And she took us to a room. She measured, she did Genesis, all her stuff. And she went, took us to the room. We waited there for like, kid you not, bro. You see how I thought, bro? I even took a nap in there, bro. And then when they finally came back, he was like, oh yeah. Da, 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 da. He was like, yeah, I heard that she has an ear infection. I said, ear infection? I was like, ear infection? I was like, I never said that. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yes, bro. I know what I said. Like, my dog doesn't have no ear infection. That's when he was just like, um, this so and so. I'm like, no, this is Genesis. He's like, what? The paper like, this is not this is that. I said no. And he went to the lady like, this is not this is that. And they were like, what do you mean? He's like, no, this is not this is this in the room. So who is that? And they were like, it's whose papers y'all have here? And it was the other paper was Genesis. They basically checked the other people kids as Genesis and us. But then the same thing I told the person, I was like, isn't it like, isn't the first thing you do is verify the name and date of birth? I was like, they didn't verify no name or date of birth. You feel me? So it's like, I think this was like, that's why he was in his room talking. He said, oh man, I'm sorry. It's supposed to be, so you actually supposed to see another doctor, but now the other doctor is occupied. So you're also actually supposed to be your time there, but not, they made you wait so long. It's not even that. But he's like, but he just kept on apologizing, like, sorry, like, it made you wait so long for no reason. Like, they made a mix up. And then they were about to go check someone else, and they were like, he was like, no, check them because y'all had them waiting so all this time. This is that. And then yes, was getting mad. Yes, was like, bro, like, I don't. He's like, yes, is like, I don't know about Florida, bro. He's like, I don't know who hired these people, bro. Like, he's like, yeah, you can just tell, just like how it's so crazy. I think that these professional stuff would be more organized, but people are still people, bro. Like, they do dumb stuff. Like, he's like, you would think this has to go to like 3 or 4 people that somebody would have noticed a mistake. Like, somebody would have noticed something, but yeah. That made us there. That made us there for the longest, bro, for no reason. That would piss me off because, like you said, oh, it ain't gonna take that long. Get there on time, 9:45. To be leaving there 11 something, bro. I gave Genesis my phone. I ended up falling asleep. Yeah, that's what they were saying. Like they saying like this ain't even supposed to be that long. There's like it ain't like she's taking shots and stuff. She already has all that. I think in the next four. They said in July, 2 days after her birthday, she has to um. It's a Tuesday. 2 days after her birthday, she has to yeah. But then did you like Genesis how it was school? She was crying when I left her. Yeah, yeah. So okay. No, he said that he's like when he looked at her, he's like she's like her skin is very dry. Like what happened? This is that. And it's saying like yeah, that's like she's like he's like no, he's like it's not supposed to be this like that. He says that when you shower her, he's like you're not supposed to fully dry her. Yeah, so he said you're not supposed to fully dry her. Let her stay a bit moist, and then put the thing on her, and then so she could be like shining. Like you have to put it to the point where she's very, very shiny. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that's why he's just because you look at her, he's like she's really dry. Yeah, and she needs to drink. Make it a habit. Give her a thing. Make she has to drink a lot. She has to drink more water, bro. Yeah, because water hydrates your skin as well. So she has to be drinking like, even if you put like a certain measurement per day, like if it's like 2 bottles of water, have her make sure that she's drinking like like for her, probably like 2 bottles of water a day, like 2 bottles of water a day. You know what I'm saying? Just so that you can always be able to measure it. Like even if it's like a specific bottle that you have and you know it's 2 bottles of water, that she's drinking it every single day. Yeah, so. But y'all on the way to on the bus? Okay. All right then. I'm okay. All right, because I'm getting ready. I'm about to get ready for work. All right, to be safe. Let me know if y'all need anything. All right. Hi, baby. How are you? You sure? I'm okay. I'm getting sick. James at school. Yeah. You like school? You like school? You like school? Oh, oh wow. Yeah.
He's a snitch.
Oh, he's a snitch.
Just told you that I almost missed the bus, and I was running and telling the bus, "Wait, don't leave, move."
Not the snitch.
That's a snitch. Like, what? Let me tell your dad what happened to me. But she is a snitch though. She be telling everybody that I have my period.
Yeah.
Yeah. She like, "Mommy, blood." Yeah. Don't tell people about that.
All right, then I'm about to get ready.
All right.
All right, be safe. So I mean, being able to understand that probabilities would matter. What was the higher chance of this happening over this? What's more likely for price to do? And this is so cool. This is so crazy, right? I entered the trade here, right? And like I said, based on this. But there was one thing that I didn't like. I should have took into consideration. Bro, that was the biggest mistake ever. Like because price obviously at this point was, you know, price obviously at this point was like this, right? But it never closed, right? So this is a data can't. It never closed. So me not taking consider that yo price could be here and it could go like this, right? It's more likely to do that. I was more so thinking, oh yeah, it's just that, it's like that, so I'll just take a trade because then the price will close like this, and then I'll be in it already and it's continue. No, like that's the mistake I made. And understanding that if this wasn't here, right? Let's just say if I were to like, let's say if I were to, let's just say, is it gray? Let's say go white, right? Let's just say go white, and, and on this. Makes sense. But let's just say, okay, let's just widen it here and show you like, yo, this is the only candle that was here. If we look at this corner right here, this is the only candle. This corner, like, if this is the only candle here, this is long out with. So, according to the most recommended source ever, the most valuable source ever, ChatGPT, I asked the question. I said, what's probably the price filling a long wick in Forex, right? And I like 2 points that it made because it said number one, okay, let's just start with the introduction. It says the probability of price flowing along with in Forex depends on several factors, including market context, time frame, and price action characteristics. There's no exact formula, but there's a price, the key principles you can consider. So, okay, so this is one of the key points. Is actually the second point. It says higher time frames. On a higher time frames, example, daily or weekly. We're in a daily right now, right? It says long wigs might have a higher chance of being filled because the market may often revisit levels for liquidity purposes. Traders may also consider the wick as a potential reverse zone. Right? I don't care about the potential reverse zone. I don't care. If it makes sense according to my confluences and how I trade, then it makes sense. But I understand that long wick might have a higher chance. So if we see this, we're like, okay, cool. When I was here, yes, I gotta take the trade on the confluences matter, but I would have been like, you know what? The price is more likely to fill this up before it continues down. So I would not take that trade. I could avoid the loss if I actually, understood what price more likely to do. So understanding the wicks now, understand that price on the weekly forms has to form a wick, right? Most likely. And I go based on that. If it has higher wick, I mean wick filled areas like long wicks that could be filled, it's a higher chance of price filling before continuing. So understanding these stuff can make me avoid losses. And it's probabilities. It doesn't mean every time it's gonna happen, but there's a higher chance of that happening. So I'd rather just avoid that, right? There's another thing that it says, if the wick is a near a key support or resistance level, it increases the probability of being filled. The wick might represent a market rejection from that level, and traders could target it for a potential reversal. If the wick is near a key support or resistance level, it increases the probability of being filled. So if the wick is near a key support or resistance, is this is not a key one, two, three, four, five. This is the key support resistance level, and the price is near this level with this wick, damn well on this level. So of course, there's a higher chance of that being filled. So that made me avoid the losses. So keeping those two in mind, I'm gonna actually type those up. When it's just like the higher time frame, price more likely to fill it. Um, you know, the wick, it's like a 70% chance of that be happening. Fill at least 50% of the wick. And you know what I'm saying? The support and resistance level. If it's close to that, then most likely to be able to fill that too. It does say volume liquidity. If there's a high trading volume, I don't care about those stuff. Like you feel me? Like candlestick patterns, the past price behavior. Oh yeah, past price behavior is also. I like how it says. Okay, so it says historical analysis, past price behavior. Studying historical price behavior in similar conditions can help estimate the likelihood of a wick filling. If the market frequently revisits wicks in similar circumstances, the probability of a wick filling may be higher. In statistical terms, the probability could be approximated by analyzing historical price action around long wicks in similar conditions. However, without a large data set and proper backtesting, it's hard to pinpoint an exact figure. The only traders rely on patterns, trends, and technical analysis tools to pivot to make an informed guess. In statistical terms, the probability could be approximated by analyzing historical price action around long wicks in similar conditions. So it's like historical analysis, like looking at the past and seeing has price filled wicks based on the past, long wicks based on past historical data. So let's go. Let's just find long wicks, right? Let's just keep on going down until we find long wicks and see if price fill them. Okay. Bam. Oh, this is a long wick right here. Bam. Same thing right here. Same exact thing. This what happened. Price eventually came and filled that wick. You feel me? Look at that. Price came, filled that wick. So we have one down so far, right? So this exact same candlestick was filled. So I just known that price would come here and fill based on past historical data. So let's look at this. Bam, a long hour wick again, the same wick, the same exact pattern. Price filled two. Price came here, created this long hour wick. Guess what? Filled it. Three. Go down. Price formed this little hour wick and it still came down and filled it, at least 50% of it, and it went up. Another wick. Look, price made this huge wick. Guess what? Price filled it. Filled. Price didn't fill this one. But then look, out of like five, six trades, price fills it. Look at this price created a wick and I fill that up. Huge wicks. Price came down. Start filling these wicks. About fill at least 70% of that wick going up. So like based on past data, we can obviously see that based on the daily, like price usually fills out the wick, right away. So I would have been like, okay, cool. Now this is how you say what is more likely to chance that this would make sense. Yeah, I have confluences. Bump that. Confluences does not come first, bro. They do not come first. What comes first is what makes sense. And then when it makes sense, then we start adding confluences to understand where we're getting in. Confluences only to understand where I'm getting in and where I'm getting out. That's the only reason why you need confluences to understand where I'm getting in, the strategy, and where I'm getting out. That's it. That's all it's for. It's not to really dictate the direction. It's to already when you already know the direction, the components come up so you can understand where to get in and when to get out on that direction. Does that make sense? So confluence is not the direction. The confluences does not mark the direction. It shows you it goes along with the direction. If you're in the right direction, it goes along with it to show you can know when to enter and when to exit. But it's not the direction over. It's not the overall bias direction. So even the confluence map doesn't mean that's the direction it's heading in. It means that's more likely the chances of you entering it and exiting it out. That's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like confluence doesn't tell you where the bus is going, right? Confluence doesn't do that. Overall bias. Stand on the street and look, oh, I'm going north. Stand on the right side. Bomb. And then now it makes sense to get on the bus, pay your fee, and then exit the way you're supposed to because you're on the right side of the street. You know what I'm saying? Right side, the direction you're going. If you're going north, or you're on the north side. It doesn't, conclusive doesn't mean you just like the bus transaction that you have or you entering the bus or just that once you enter the bus, it's that it has to go in the direction you want. No. First of all, you have to find yourself on the right direction first. And then you figure out your confluences to figure out where to get in and when to get out. So at this point, I use my confluence as like, okay, cool. It matched up. This is where I'm going. But not understand that, yo, the probably I'm on the wrong side of the bus, bro. On the wrong side of the street. The higher chance of it is a higher chance of it going up. So yes, I could hop and pay my fee and this, that. But guess what? I want to go down this way, but the bus says no. We're heading north, bro. Like that's what we're doing. We're heading north, and you had to the bus. Yes, you paid your fee and all this that, but we're not following you basically because you paid your fee. This is the direction we're meant to go. So understanding that, like I should not enter this trade because if I seen that bomb is the wick and probably more likely fills the wick, then I should understand that probably might likely fill this wick too. Higher chance, like 80% chance. I'd rather stick with 80% chance and understand that. You know what I'm saying? So understanding wick fills understanding wick fills, understanding that price is more likely to fill it with on daily chart, and there's a higher chance of that happening based on historical data. Always look at historical data. That's what understand what price did before, see what if it do it again. So, and what is price more likely to do? So I always ask myself, hey, what are the chances of this happening? What price is more likely to go to? I'm more likely to go to this level, right? And then try to create some new direction and continue possibly down. So now at this level, I can look at possible sales one more time. You know what I'm saying? But what I would love for Price to do is do bullish and then bearish, you know what I'm saying? But Price right now, even like right now, can you get a sell off here? Yes. Price went bullish, right? And then it went bearish, right? And then created an engulfing. You see, Price created engulfing, Price created engulfing here, 4 hours. Price is at this level here. I can see Price wicking here. I can see this happening, bro. I can see like Price doing something like this. I can see that happening. Not even touching the EMA. I can see that happening. Because now I don't have to worry about this level, right? Because this level, I worry about this level right now. I can literally see this happening right here. 2 hour, daily. Yeah. When did it happen? Happen I don't feel like Vaccine, conversion, bearish, engulfing, bomb 6 a.m. Look at this trade. I'll just take one more trade, bro. This is done for the week right here. This on the 4 hour right here. You know what I'm saying? Price. This. I feel like you got working. I don't see that happening all in 1 week, bro, to be honest. You guys press that strong move. It's a strong move. I do believe this is a strong level. I can see that I could actually draw from there. Let me see. That's a interesting. Maybe. No, it's not. Yeah. And 4 hour daily. the daily closes like that, then we could look for this to happen. I want the daily to close. I'm good. Like, can I enter this? Of course I could enter this right now. Um, see this? I really believe that price is going to do something quick, right? I believe that price more likely to probably hit this level here. So the price would have to close and engulf this. The price engulf that strong on the daily. Really, if I can do like a doji. Really, if I can do like a doji. Really do. If it does this, I'll look for a retest. Yeah. I'll wait to see if this daily closes first.